difference between different British accents. That's unfortunate.
Here it is. What do you know?
Get your ass to Mars.
Mission.
Wait.
15,
Counting?
14, 13.
All systems are go.
11,
I am the J Tage. Gotta have time to masturbate.
Well, I think it kind of speaks for itself. He just goes completely anti-science.
I'm taking money for naughty favors.
Where's that mushroom toy?
Because
Pageant
that mushroom
wave.
head seems to get in the way.
I'm a good girl, I am.
She was what the kids would call a slut, which is a terrible thing to say, but apparently there's no denying she was one.
I want to apologize to all of you for what happened in there. In our competition for ratings, we all lost sight of why we got into show business in the first place.
Yeah, titties and beer.
I guess he's not being charged.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get Live. I'm the J Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker. Welcome to Fuck It Friday.
Yeah, I am the tardy J Tyler. As usual, just stuff and things. Look at this.
That's a beautiful picture.
It is. It's nice. Look, Sweden and Finland. I woke up this morning and they were like, "Can we be part of NATO, please?"
I like that.
And it was like, "What?" Okay. This game of Risk that we're playing, apparently. What do you think? You think like Finland and Russia have a very close relationship? And
well, they're very
they've tried to kill each
close.
other, but they've also tried to kill each other a bunch of times. But so much so that they've been like, "Hey, shot in the face!" Like that's what Finland does. They actually have this like super sniper guy that he was called the White Death.
I honestly don't know the history, but my guess is that Scandinavian countries are seeing the writing on the wall, and they see what the intentions are, what Putin's intentions are, and he's not fucking around.
The Finnish, they finished off the Russians in a war that they had, and they had like sticks and skis and a handful of dudes that knew the forest and shot in the face is what happened.
Okay, I have a stupid question.
So we're gonna get this going.
I think I know the answer. So Finland is not part of the EU, correct?
No,
it's not.
No, I don't know. Actually, good
You
question.
don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I could look it up real quick.
And Sweden, I don't believe they're part of
they're
the
not
EU.
part of NATO.
They're not part of NATO.
Yeah.
But the reason I don't think they're part of the EU is that they don't use the currency. They still use the kroner.
Still using those
in Sweden.
Still using those kroners.
Yeah.
I don't know. More to come on that. That's just an interesting story. Probably by the time we're ready to start the next show, something else will have shown up about that. But this is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Look, in the first weeks of the Ukrainian war, Russia saw their generals shot in the face. Shot in the face. Generals are dropping, right? This is the pride of the Baltic fleet, the Moscow. And Ukraine is like, did I do that? Well, yeah.
Well, you didn't say what happened. You kind of buried the lead there.
Looks like scrumptious chicken.
Is that not what you meant to put in there?
No, I meant to put this in there. Here. Sorry. What do you want? So, this is the BBC. Whoa. What is going on there? Oh, I know.
Moscow also claims its sea-based cruise missiles have hit a factory outside Kyiv, which produces anti-ship missiles, including the type which, according to Ukraine, hit Russia's flagship vessel, the Moskva. Russia confirmed that the 12,000-ton cruiser from its Black Sea fleet had sunk, but it says it went down in rough seas as it was being towed into port after a fire caused its ammunition to explode.
So what happened? Like, and then they're like, "Oh no, wait, yeah, you're right. Ukraine shot it." Like this
So
is an
he
earlier
kinda-
report. This is just like they're saying the ship went down, and then Ukraine's like, "We shot that fucker," and then they're like, "Oh yeah, no, you're right. You did shoot it."
So what does that mean? Because
It means that Ukraine ain't nothing to fuck with.
no, but I mean, why would Moscow? It seems like Moscow would not want to admit that their ship was sunk because that would
I know, but then all of a sudden,
embolden Ukraine, or maybe it would make them more likely to
but
kill.
then it's like now it makes the Russians are like, well, they sunk our warship.
Yeah, I guess that would be the motivation.
You
because
sunk my battleship was an airdrop that I failed to get. It was a drop I failed.
You could get it.
I'm going to get it. I just didn't get it in
Yeah.
time. Sorry, you showed up. But yeah,
It's always a problem.
Sweden and Finland running to the west. They're like, we want to be Western, please. Can we be considered Western Europe? And Ukraine is like, this is it. Now they only have like 3 of these ships. These are basically they're missile platforms. I'm just assuming. And
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the 3 dragons in Game of Thrones. The first one gets killed by the Ice King, and he gets turned into a
the United
snow
States
zombie.
The United States has a comparable fleet of these types of ships.
Yeah, but we've probably
We've got like
like
about 30 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they got a little too close, and with what's going on, there was an attack on this island. It was called the Snake Island, or that's what we call it, or whatever. And the Russians like massacred everybody. They have a stamp, actually. I think I got a picture of the stamp. Sure. Oh, we're going to talk about that guy in a minute. No, I don't have it, but I will.
Okay.
But it's the stamp of these like Russian. These Ukrainians fought until they were just out of ammo and they all got captured. And then you hear stories of 900 civilians found dead, most of them shot by presumably Russian soldiers. I'm guessing it wasn't just like some purge going on. And so like this kind of shit, this is in retaliation. Now this can only really escalate.
Tim Allman.
The scourge of the Black Sea, now buried at the bottom of it. But how the Moskva got there is still disputed. Ukraine says it hit the ship with cruise missiles launched from the coast. Russia would only admit there had been an explosion on board and it then sank in bad weather. If the Ukrainians were responsible, it would be the biggest warship to be sunk by enemy action since the Second World War.
So what's happening is Ukraine has the ability to make these missiles. NATO calls them the Harpoonski, because it's basically what we consider a harpoon cruise missile, right? And they've been building their own and doing this thing, just like and so it's interesting. Now this report came out early this morning, and then the Russians had gone back on what they had said, that it was being towed because of a fire in a powder magazine that caused an explosion that then caused it to sink.
Do you think they didn't know what had happened, or? I mean,
no, they knew. They knew.
But why did they come up with a untrue story initially?
Here's the thing. There was a twist.
A tweest?
What they did was the Ukrainians used a shotgun blast formation of drones to distract the ship and get it to focus on these drones are all coming. What do? Meanwhile, just like a velociraptor style, these missiles just come out of nowhere. Boom. They just clouded their view. They clouded their radar with all these drones and then fired these missiles in. Brilliant.
It's pretty resourceful.
What have I been telling you? Drones.
Yeah.
There's so many uses for them. So they blinded them with drones, and then they hit
You
them.
said that early on. You said make a whole net of them.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They used the drone swarm to blind them, and then they shot a couple of these very, very, very accurate missiles into the side of them. This is a warfare 101. This is a TikTok war. Like drones. If I can use a couple $2 million missiles and cripple your Baltic fleet with a handful of drones and a couple missiles. Just like that. It's all too easy.
And these drones, are they how
Just regular drones.
So they're just like the kind that you can buy online.
Yeah, $100 drones. But they just get in the way. The radar's looking, and then all of a sudden you just see all these.
Yeah, and if you get like
what are you gonna do? Individually shoot like hundreds of fucking drones out of the sky? You can't really
do it. You can't really, and you'd be distracted doing that.
And
as
you're
well.
close in air support, which is like the parts of this ship that are back here. They're right here. These are close in, like they're meant to shoot missiles out of the sky, right? But now all of a sudden you're just like drone swarm, and the guns are just like.
So are they shooting at the air swarm?
Possibly, but it doesn't matter because these like Sea-Whiz cannons, they don't hold that many rounds, and so you could just easily outnumber. And they're targeting them, but they're like, what are they doing? And then all of a sudden, at about 5 meters above the waterline, 15 feet. Or 3 to 5 meters above the waterline, these two missiles just boom right in the side of it. What's amazing is it didn't sink right away, but that was because I guess they only had these 125 kilogram warheads instead of the 500 kilogram warheads. Probably would have chopped the ship in half. Now they rescued a bunch of people, but there's like 400 people that are unaccounted for from the ship. Well, it's like, you know, when you fire a couple of missiles into the side of a ship with a few hundred people on it, some people are gonna die.
Yeah, a lot in the initial blast.
All right, love to bring you down before I bring you up. Charlie Kirk, I wanted to talk about him for a minute and how he blames trans people for inflation.
Now that's a stretch. Okay, this is gonna be good.
No, that's all I'm gonna say about that until probably the third segment, but because I got some shit to say about Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
But let's talk about the plot. This is the last thing we're going to talk about in this segment. Hope Craft CBDs, Jackson Tyne and Tammy Tyne, are out in Crawford Ranch, Colorado, constantly working on improving the sustainability of their farms. They care about the environment. They care about climate change. Most of all, they care about you.
Hopecraft CBDs is more than 11 years in the making. They make salves, tinctures, and really nice massage oil that smells very good. And they make delicious candy that evens out your high. Let's put it that way. Does it bond to the THC receptors?
I think that's how it works.
Yeah. And so it replaces the THC receptors
Clogs you
with CBD, which is chill pill, and makes you feel a lot better and makes you feel like you can do a better show.
It does.
So visit hopext.com. That's HOPEXT.com.
Enter
and
promo code STFUJ.
That's STFU and then the letter J.
Parker. For theoretically up to 30% off. Put in the notes, make with the loop, dog treats, and bubblegum. He'll know what you're talking about. All right, let's talk about some convoy shit, right? So these truckers are pissed off, and they're like doing this, you know, they're striking, I guess. Truckers. Don't you know how to Republican truckers? Because you don't strike, right? But what's happening right now is that Republicans have been forcing this narrative on people, and the right in general has been forcing this narrative on people that the shelves are empty. Shelves. Are grocery store shelves empty?
No, that's what I've seen.
When was the last time you saw a grocery store empty?
It was at the beginning of the pandemic when people were panic buying.
Right. So what's happening is Greg Abbott, keep on
that
trucking.
Goddamn tree. I am still angry at that tree. Anyway, go ahead.
Greg Abbott is obstructing. He's making it super hard for trucks that are bringing vegetation and vegetables and produce and shit. Vegetation. I don't know if I said that. Vegetables and across the border into Texas, right? Because this is so easily seen to me as orchestrated. It's like Bridgegate,
right?
Chris Christie and Bridgegate, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so obvious to me that Greg Abbott and the people in the Republicans that are somewhat in charge are trying to find a picture of a fucking store that has empty shelves. And the best way to do it is by crushing supply chain at the border of Texas. So, prophet that I am, and knowing things that I've watched this, I'm going to tell you the next picture of an empty store shelf will be in one of two places, Texas or Russia. Oh, wait a minute. I already saw a picture of Russia.
Empty shelves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. Greg Abbott, you're the dark horse dick of the week. I'm just throwing him in there, man.
He's already won. So per the rules, he gets a check mark.
Look, they have been for days talking about something that's not happening. The shelves are empty. They have to now make it happen. And what better place to do it than cut off main border supply crossings?
Now, I have a question. We were talking about this earlier, and you said that for Texas, produce isn't that important. So why would they care about empty produce shelves?
Yeah, right. That's a joke.
That's a joke. Okay. But I mean, seriously, I think.
Well, it's just because they get a lot of produce from Mexico.
They get it from Mexico. But, if you're going to have empty shelves, I think people get more freaked out about
the Kentucky Fried Chicken shelf
is
empty.
Yeah, and the pork rinds.
The pork rind shelf is empty.
Yeah.
What do you mean you got no pork rinds? All you got is avocados.
And the frozen hush puppies.
Look, man, avocados get picked and then they die immediately. So getting them across the border, it's kind of time sensitive. But yeah, there's an 8-mile long line of trucks at the border because Greg Abbott.
So he probably loves the fact that the fruit will rot and never get there.
That's the point. And you're costing people millions of dollars. $1 million an hour, I believe, is what $1 million per hour of stuff comes into the United States that we're buying from Mexico.
So the stuff is paid for?
Well, I mean,
it's paid for and by the stores, presumably.
So because of this, so it's a 15 to 30 hour wait in the desert in a truck, right? These things, like, come on, strawberries. You know how long they last? 3 of them just died while I said that sentence.
Yeah, you buy them and 2 days later they're covered in fuzz. Yeah.
Get that non-GMO, son. Better eat them now.
Mm-hmm.
Dip them in chocolate. They don't mold as fast. Yeah. But they don't mold as fast.
That's, all that fat.
Always thinking.
Oh, it also tastes really good. That's the most important thing.
So, yeah. This idea that we're going to have empty shelves is ridiculous. But there might be some towns in Texas. I'm going to go with, let's say, Brownsville, Juarez. Juarez would be a bigger one. But Brownsville, Juarez, these are places where you're going to see the first photos. These pictures taken in this Texas restaurant or Texas grocery store shows that the shelves are empty. And it's just as simple as, like, you talk to the truckers and the people that run it, they're just like, look, we can't move it, right? And like that's it. Like, they can't. And so you have this is going to be spun into a thing. The produce suppliers are like, we can't get the stuff to you guys. And the guys at the stores are like, what the fuck, man? My shelves are going empty.
Right.
And it's like,
right.
dude,
And they bought this stuff. They paid for it.
I could go on and on about this. The consensus is that the Border Patrol is doing a fine job. They seized like 1 million pounds of
cocaine and methamphetamine,
right, coming across the border. They got that shit. So why that Greg Abbott is instilling these where he wants the sheriffs and these to be like doing extra searches and stuff.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to find one Texan who has scurvy, and he had it before this whole thing happened, and they're going to get him to say, I got scurvy because I didn't get my vitamin C from the oranges I get from Texas.
I love you, Ukraine. I'm on board. Thank you for listening to me. Use more drones and more missiles, and we're sending you more. We're sending you more of your harpoonskis. But you're building them there yourselves. We just need to get the materials to you. And good on Sweden and Finland. Look to the west. It's where the sun sets. Sun. All right. That was my segment. I loved it.
That was awesome.
I thought I did a great job. Let's hope you guys do too. Like, share, and subscribe. nothing@group@gmail.com. Hit us up. We'll be back in a moment with the second segment, which is always
Dick of the week.
and not our favorite, but
Oh, it's my second favorite.
all right. I am the J. Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker.
And this
Is Nothing Yet Live.